Nick Cage is Nick Cage in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, co-starring Nick Cage. Written and directed by Tom Gormican, who directed The Awkward Moment. Also written by Kevin Etten, who wrote some Desperate Housewives episodes, as well as a few other things, according to his IMDb. And it stars Nicolas Cage as well. Nicolas Cage, the big-time actor that got horribly in debt and ended up becoming a meme. He was in a ton of blockbusters, a ton of critically acclaimed movies. Raising Arizona was pretty much the role to put him on the map. Moonstruck was another role that was pretty goddamn terrific. Sheriff's Life and him, snap out of it! And Leaving Las Vegas, he won an Academy Award for that. He's been in a whole bunch of other great stuff. The Rock was fucking terrific. I mean, he was great as most Nicolas Cage until the following year with Face Off, where him and John Travolta had a whole lot of fun. Man, fucking goddamn it, Nicolas Cage was having a fucking blast there, and so was John Travolta. That was a great goddamn movie. I need to retro review that. And then the National Treasure movies, Gone in 60 Seconds. So many big movies. He was a big goddamn deal. Huge box office attraction. Big critical acclaim, like line of work. He's really done a lot of stuff. And then he started doing stuff like The Wicker Man and got horribly in debt because of his spending and a whole bunch. And that's been told in interviews. And I'm not going to lambaste Nicolas Cage for it. He's owed up to it. And to get out of debt, he starred in a bunch of low-budget, schlock, and also some critically acclaimed stuff. Recently, he was in a movie like Willy's Wonderland that shouldn't have been as much fun as it ended up being, but it was really goddamn good. Mandy was certainly something. Color Out of Space was very, 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 very odd, but turned out to be one of my favorite movies, in quite a while, because it was just so goddamn weird. And also Pig. He was really fucking good in Pig. He was really conflicted, tremendous acting. And I still need to check out Prisoners of the Ghostland, but the whole point is he had to fight out of debt and fight out, to basically regain his reputation. And that's what this meta-comedy piece basically is talking about. Talking about the man, the myth, the meme, Nicolas Cage, where he is a very self-aware comedy that's also got some drama and also a bunch of in-references, and depending on your level of Nicolas Cage fandom, I appreciate his stuff. I'm not the biggest Nicolas Cage fan. I haven't liked him in every single thing, but I liked him in a lot of stuff. And he really understands, he's embraced the meme, and also he's been able to get out of debt, doing all that stuff, and being smarter with his money and everything, and not spending, I'm not dumping, but just the amount of stuff that he did, and he was able to dig himself out of it. Good for him. And it's basically a lot of in-references as far as Nicolas Cage's life and movies and stuff like that, and him reflecting on himself. If you think about it, Nicolas Cage has been in movies for over 30 years now. And it is honestly astonishing to see his body of work and the amount of great movies that he was in. Some of the stuff I listed. What are some of your favorite Nicolas Cage movies? Let me know in the comments, please. What are some of your least favorite Nicolas Cage movies? Is there a performance that really sticks out as far as just how ridiculous it was, yet as far as how bad the movie was, but it was so goddamn entertaining? And why is that movie The Wicker Man? Because goddamn, The Wicker Man, not the bees. Oh, they're in my eyes. So yeah, this movie, spoilers will come up in a bit, but it's a meta-comedy where Nicolas Cage is horribly in debt, and he needs to, basically get land a big role to basically get himself out of debt and repair his life with his now divorced wife and daughter. Not divorced daughter, that would have been really strange, but he gets an offer from Javi Gutierrez, played by Pedro Pascal, who is a very good actor. He's been very, very good in a variety of roles and really is on fire here. Tiffany Haddish plays a government agent. Neil Patrick Harris has a bit of a cameo here. Neil Patrick Harris, you put him in anything, he's really just gonna steal the show. Fuck, he was the only good part of the goddamn Matrix Resurrections movie. Please don't make me relive that. Don't make me relive that. And there are Nicolas Cage movie clips. People are aware and appreciate just how great Nicolas Cage is as an actor. It opens in Spain, where there is a kidnapping while a couple is watching Con Air. And then this kidnapping turns out to play into the movie later. So yeah, Nicolas Cage is trying to repair his life. He knows a lot of movies. He loves movies. Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which is something I really need to watch again at some point. It's very, very strange. But he's kind of in he's kind of in his own world and needs to reflect on. He needs to eventually find out that, oh, his daughter is her own person. That he needs to not just be Nick Cage. He needs to be dad. He does not need to just be the actor all the time. Oh, never thought I'd reference an Eddie Murphy song here. If you get that reference, I do apologize. He gets this opportunity to go to Javi's villa, so to speak, in Spain. I forget the name of the city in particular, but Javi's got this lavish area. It's a birthday party thing. He is gonna be there, and he's getting paid $1 million, and he gets to be there. Well, it turns out Javi actually had a script, and he wanted Nicolas Cage to be in his movie, and he wasn't aware of that because his agent didn't tell him. Richard Fink, not the Fink. No, it's not. Scheduled for one fall. No non-wrestling fans will get that at all. But yeah, Neil Patrick Harris is his agent, and turns out there's a sinister plot going on where Nicolas Cage has to figure out, can the actor Nicolas Cage be the movie star Nicolas Cage? Yeah, it's a meta comedy. It's ridiculous. So this movie, again, your opinion of it and your enjoyment of it will vary depending on your opinion of meta comedies. Of course, there are some people that will compare this to something like Being John Malkovich, and this might actually get me in trouble, might be controversial, like I care, but I did not care for Being John Malkovich. I thought it was fine. I think John Malkovich was great. This was better. This was a lot better. Even though John Malkovich is fucking terrific. And ironically, both of them were in Con Air. Back off or the bunny gets it. Why that's funny, I don't know. And turns out Nicolas Cage has to find a way to basically solve a mystery, not rewrite history, not Nick Tales. Woohoo! I was going to try to do a Nicolas Cage impression, and I don't know why I went Vince McMahon. So anyway, basically what ends up happening is he has to, figure out his life. He has to balance all this stuff and everything while all this crazy, wild shit's going on and a whole bunch of end references and whatever. And him and Javi strike up a friendship, and there you go. Now there's other stuff that I'll get into with spoilers, but this is pretty goddamn terrific and a whole lot of fun. This is probably the most fun I've had at a movie as far as with a comedy since The Lost City, which I know was just a month ago. Check out The Lost City if you haven't yet. If it's not in theaters, wait for streaming. I think it'll probably be on Paramount Plus soon if it's not as of this current posting. But that's a whole lot of fun. This is a whole lot of fun. Does every joke land? No. But not every joke landed in The Lost City. And that one was a goddamn blast. And this is a goddamn blast. Because it's silly and ridiculous. It's Nick Cage embracing the meme culture and understanding that to be Nick Cage, you must become Nick Cage. You must become one with Nick Cage. And also there's this crazy thing where he's talking to his former self from Raising Arizona. And they do a really good job with the de-aging stuff. Actually, it's definitely better than what they did in Tron. And if you get it, you get, or Tron Legacy, that is, which was not good at all. Tron and Tron Legacy were not good movies. And I will die on that sword. I don't care. But this, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, Nicolas Cage truly, he's a great fucking actor. He is. When he's on, he's fucking tremendous. Entertaining as hell. Leaving Las Vegas, grand if you have not seen that movie. Boy, get ready to be fucking depressed. But you can see a whole bunch of other great shit that he's been in. Raising Arizona isn't for everybody, but it's a whole lot of fun. Moonstruck and all those movies I mentioned. If you're a Nick Cage fan, you're going to fucking enjoy it. So it's in theaters now. Absolutely check it out. But I am going to get into spoilers here. Don't think the spoiler section is going to take very long, but let's get into spoilers. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. Okay. So this whole thing with Javi, it turns out that Javi may have something to do with the kidnapping of the girl from the beginning, who is the daughter of a current president-elect, that if he wins the election, he is going to bring about change and take down the cartel. And it turns out Javi is actually the leader of this cartel. And there's also, his assistant, Lucas. And then there's this gorgeous girl. Oh my God, she's a beautiful, beautiful girl that it turns out that he's actually in love with, because of course and you see her, how the fuck could he not be? And Nicolas Cage is having to balance all this stuff because he gets recruited by a couple FBI agents, one Vivian, played by Tiffany Haddish, and he has to, because he is in Javi's circle, he has to become part of this, and there's this one funny moment where he has this government stuff, like he's got these flash drives and he's in this security room, and then he's supposed to have this compound where he's going to knock somebody out, and you slap him. You slap him, and it makes him go to sleep. It just numbs him. Well, the thing is, he had it on this hand. He touches his forehead. I think I just touched my forehead. Wait, no, I didn't. And then he falls up, and it's this funny moment where he's like drugged, and he's trying to get him going and everything, and this kind of stuff. And he manages to get there, get the stuff, and then he doesn't quite get it. And then Vivian says, action, and he does this because he's Nick fucking Cage. And there we go, Nick fucking Cage. I can't do it like they did in the movie. If you've seen it, you'll understand. But he strikes up this friendship with Javi. And Pedro Pascal, by the way, fucking tremendous. Great stuff. Very, very balanced in the insanity of trying to balance a meta comedy like this. And it just is really, really fucking good. It's really, really enjoyable. And it turns out that Javi's actually not part of this whole, or that he is just the figurehead out there. Actually turns out that Lucas is his cousin, and that Lucas is doing all this because it's all these cliches. And all the while, Nick Cage and Javi are coming up with their own movie. They even drop acid at one point and go driving. That's what you want to fucking do. You want to drop acid and then drive around Spain. Whether you know Spain or not, maybe you don't want to drive while on acid. You probably don't want to do anything while on acid. And it's not a good thing to do acid. Stop doing acid, you idiots. Enough about doing acid. Let's talk about the rest of this. Turns out that Lucas is hating this whole goddamn thing. And there's all these changes to the screenplay, this movie idea they're coming up with. There's a kidnapping involved. And his family ends up getting involved. His daughter and his wife. His daughter ends up getting kidnapped along with the president-elect's daughter. And then they basically there's a big old gun shootout, a bunch of car chases and whatever. It's just really, really fun. Ridiculous. It's exactly like The Lost City in the sense that it shouldn't have worked, and it fucking did. It was fucking phenomenal. A lot of goddamn fun. And for every Nick Cage fan out there, you're going to really enjoy it. If you're like me, and I know I am, even if you're a modest Nick Cage fan, you're going to have a lot of fun. If you're a super Nick Cage fan, you'll probably get even more of the end references that maybe didn't necessarily go over my head, but they were coming so goddamn fast. It was ridiculous. And Nick just turned it on, turned it off, having a whole bunch of fun. This was Nick Cage in his finest. This was Nick Cage returning to form, and it was just a lot of fun. I have given this grade out quite a bit. There's going to be a lot of A grades that I've been giving out lately. A+. This was so much fun. Yeah, there could be some issues. You could argue that maybe the meta comedy gets a little bit weary. No, it's just fun. It's meant to be fun. And it's nice to be at a movie that's fun. Aren't I having fun? Yeah, A+. A lot of fun. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.